So I haven't had sex for over 3 years, and I'm 38 years old, pretty much in the prime of my life. And I'm doing this voluntarily. I'm in the Philippines, and I gave up. I broke up with my last girlfriend for this. And she was great, but I was just only interested in sex, really. I've been a sex addict for 10 years. Between age 25 and age 35, I've been a sex addict, and I didn't realize it until I went on semen retention, really, and broke the habit of chasing pleasure, because it wasn't only sex; it was just a pleasure seeking lifestyle that I put myself victim to, if that's an expression. I was a degenerate. I was also in my late 20s, all throughout my 20s, a professional poker player. And at age 24, I started really becoming interested in girls, chasing girls and stuff. Before that, I was trying to make it or trying to become a poker professional and get success that way. But yeah, at age 24, 25, I started becoming interested in girls, and I had a brothel nearby. I was living in Germany at the time that I started going to. I was making quite decent to good money with poker. So I went to that brothel, and I had the money to spend for easy sex. I would go there after the gym or something, and then kind of make the money back with poker right after it. It became a habit where I went there 5 times a week, maybe. It was crazy. Then, yeah, of course, porn and Tinder, dating girls, not being interested in a relationship or anything, even though that sometimes happened. Like relationships formed because the girls always wanted it, and I was like, So that was a total mess, all of it. Like, then I went to the Philippines. I stopped prostitution because it became so easy to get sex in Manila. Anyway, long story short, there, I was pretty obsessed, just a sex addict with porn, dating, and prostitutes for 10 years, between 25 and 35. Then in the end, I had this girlfriend, which, yeah, it's unfriendly to say I was using her for sex. I don't want to say it like that, but yeah, I wasn't interested in doing anything long term that, women or Filipinas will want a marriage and babies. I wasn't interested in anything long term like that. And yeah, she was great to so to fulfill my to fuel my addiction, and no, yeah. Then I found out about semen retention, and I ended up breaking up with her to go on semen retention. I wanted to try it out. I tried it out once. I broke up with her to try semen retention, and then I was still living in Manila. A month later, she was nearby. Somehow, me texting her, she texted me, and she was nearby, and I relapsed once. Ended up dating her for a couple of months still. Then I moved to the province from Manila to out of the city, and after that move, I ended up breaking up for good to go on semen retention, and I never relapsed after that. Now, I'm gonna spare you the drama, of course, of the whole breakup. Of course, it was very, very not nasty, not nice, and it was completely my fault, and she is happy now with another guy, and happy for her, because I didn't deserve her, and I was wasting her time, and I was anyway. Went on semen retention after that, and it completely changed my life. I also moved outside of the city, right? So right after I moved from Manila to the province, to Tagaytay, I I was in a completely different environment, because Manila would have been quite hard for me to be on semen retention, because of all the girls. Like in Tagaytay, I was experiencing 10 to 20x, I don't know, 30x, 40x fewer temptations than Manila would give me. Because I was living in a kind of nice nature environment, and there, so that wasn't a very good environment to do semen retention in. And it completely changed my life. Because I came out of a hole. COVID put me into a complete mental breakdown. I burned out. And I lost my work. I had a financial crisis. I had it very tough during COVID and the years after that, financially, actually. And part of the reason why I wanted to go on semen retention to rebuild myself, because I hit rock bottom after COVID, after that mental crisis, financial crisis. I needed a change. That was a huge crisis, and they always say after the crisis are fruit for change, or fertile ground for change, or something like that. So crisis can put you on a better path in life, which it did. But I had to break up with that girl in order to go on semen retention, because I was thinking I had to break up with her, because I was feeling I was unable to really focus on my rebuild, on rebuilding myself, which was needed, because I wanted to climb out of that hole, or just rebuild myself. Rebuild myself up after hitting rock bottom, and I needed to ditch the sex addiction for that. I also had a weed addiction, which I ditched prior to the sex addiction, but the sex addiction was the nasty part, really. I had to let go of the pleasure-seeking lifestyle, because all throughout my 20s, let's say, I had a pleasure-seeking lifestyle, weed addiction, lavish money spending all the money that I made, really, on oftentimes nonsense stuff. Name it, just spending the money that you make. It's very easy, obviously. Pleasure seeking, so sex came in when I in my mid 20s for 10 years, so from 24, 25 to 34, 35. And where was I going with this? Semen retention, that it completely changed my life. That was the last addiction that I really had to give up. The sex addiction. And it completely changed my life. I was able to indeed rebuild myself. It completely worked. What I was setting out to completely worked. Health-wise, I completely transformed my health. My body, like I changed my diet, exercise regime. Like of the last 3 years, I lived like an athlete, or I walked around a lot. I ate only non-processed foods, right? Like tried being a vegan, but it's not for me. It's just I need some eggs and fish, but only non-processed foods, eggs, fish, and fresh fruits and vegetables, and all of that, And that, transformed my health. I moved a lot, stretching, exercised a lot. I'm not gonna undress myself here, but I'm in a great shape right now. I think I look pretty healthy. I'm almost 39, so I look pretty healthy. I think for my age, and completely transformed my health, my outlook on life, my cognition, my mental clarity. Just like knowing what I want, completely creating this clear vision on the things that I want. During semen retention, like because before I went on semen retention, I was making money just as much as I was spending, and I was living low, right? How do you say, paycheck to paycheck kind of lifestyle. Like I couldn't afford traveling abroad or doing any luxury stuff or buying a new phone or a new laptop or whatever. Just I could only really spending my money on the basic necessities, rent and food, and maybe a gym membership, but just very low normal lifestyle and just very low life. And during semen retention, I was able to triple my income in the 3 years, and it took a while. It was not immediately like it took a while for me to because I had a lot of 10 years of sex addiction is not nothing. I felt I really needed to recover, still recovering, but right now after 3 years, well, it's like 3 years and 3 or 4 months. And that's a lot. Again, like I'm 39 almost. And yeah, and that is just like semen retention. Obviously, like it's not dropping anything. No sex, no ejaculation basically. Of course, I was close sometimes, watch some porn. I'm not watching porn anymore. In the beginning, I was tempted and I'm watching porn. I was like, oh, like, and I was, but I never spilled a drop, let's say, So, and I'm very disciplined nowadays with semen retention. So I'm not even, tempted that much anymore. Like it's getting better. I'm getting better at it. So again, like it completely changed my life. I want to be, promoting the lifestyle, the semen retention lifestyle, and also just share my story, because this YouTube channel used to be me vlogging in the Philippines. After my poker career, I wanted something different. So when I was about 30 or 31, and I just moved to the Philippines, I wanted to do something different. I saw the travel vlogging and I wanted to try that out. And that's this channel. What this channel is used to be about is, you see I put it now in a playlist, Legacy Travel Vlogs, but that was me. A long hair. Now I'm completely gray, and I look different. I look different, and I'm much older. Those were in my early 30s, and now I'm turning 39 in a month. So, but I'm in much better health right now, and just better mental state, and I matured. I must be looking and behaving and talking much differently than before, because I feel much differently. I am a completely different person, I feel. And the point of this video is to share a little bit of the story, like what happened, because I stopped making travel vlogs after when COVID started, went into the mental crisis, and never really had money, didn't have money to travel anymore. So I never really took it up anymore, partly also because I didn't have the money to, or the time, or whatever. My mind wasn't there to start doing that anymore also, but also just not the money to, whatever. Anyway, so I stopped doing that, and now I wanted to share that story, and I also want to advocate, or be an advocate for semen retention, or quote unquote promote, how do you say it, to be an advocate for semen retention, and share my experience about it. And that is that it completely transformed my life. because this is something that only guys can do, right? And you know, guys are obviously very different from women, and they want to, they often want to have these high goals, and they want to build something up and create and better themselves, and women also. But for guys, like, this is semen retention is really a way to build yourself up, to grow as a person, to grow as a man, as a person, and create and build yourself up and become better and better and better. And I don't know where that ends, but I just know that in the let's call it 3 years, in the 3 years that I've been doing this, I just noticed, because of course you're noticing yourself, like, I just noticed myself becoming better and better and better in every aspect of my life. It's my work, my career, my mental state, my control, and like I said, health-wise, fitness level. I became stronger, faster, more flexible. Of course, I trained it, but I only became better and better. I'm still becoming better and better, and especially in your late 30s, right? Because I am experiencing, oh man, like, if I don't work on myself and I have the pleasure-seeking lifestyle, I will become old. I will age. Because at 34, after the crisis, I one day woke up. I was like, oh, I'm so stiff. Oh shit, what's happening? I'm so old. And I was like, in that whole mindset of thinking about, how to, from whoa, what happened, and starting to make a change. But anyway, so I was definitely aged me. The COVID and the mental crisis really, that aged me. So I completely realized that if I don't take care of myself, and if I don't do everything right in lifestyle-wise, if I drink, fuck around, smoking, drugs, junk food, name it, sedentariness, I will age, I will get older. And of course, I am still noticing it, obviously, I will still get it, But still, like, I'm feeling with semen retention, I can still become better at a lot of things. I can still improve, grow, become better, and not have focus on aging or getting worse. No, become better. I did become better between age 35 and 38, right? In a lot of things. So it's my also aging, right? It's my way to not fight aging, but just to become better at things, to improve, to have that mindset of becoming better, improving, and growing. And so I completely transformed my health, my fitness level, tripled my income in 3 years after a lot of hard work. I worked every day, and because that's the thing, like, you don't fall off the wagon. Every time you chase sex or you have it or you ejaculate, you fall off the wagon. Basically, every time you ejaculate, you fall off the wagon. You're like, oh man, it's all good, or I don't feel like working, or this and that. And when you're holding that in for 3 years, you're never falling off the wagon. You're always just, I gotta do this. You're always thinking, I gotta do this, and you're doing this. You're always doing what you gotta do. It teaches a lot of self-control and discipline. In the last 6 months, I've started taking cold showers. That also really helps. Also strengthening my discipline. But semen retention itself teaches self-control. So, like, overall self-control with a lot of things, like emotional control and just controlling yourself. And also, doing with work also then, like, doing the things that you know that you gotta do. And of course I get tired sometimes, and of course I need breaks and rest, and that's all. Try to have a good balance. It's just part of it. Like, live a good life, have rest, and I'm just becoming better and better and better and better. And I want to see where it ends. I find it very interesting. I remember even in my early 20s, I read Think and Grow Rich from Napoleon Hill. And he wasn't very explicit about it, but he called it sexual transmutation. And I kind of understood it, but he wasn't very explicit about it. But then I was not in the phase. Like I'm not saying that this is for everybody. Maybe you got to be ready for it, maybe, because if you're in that immature early 20s, and I was a late bloomer, right? I'm talking between 24 and 34, right? But a lot of people are in between 15 and 25 when they're sexually lavish. But anyway, so if you're in that phase, then you might not be ready for it, and you don't want to hear it. Sexual transplantation, semen retention, like, oh no, no, I just want to experience. And maybe maybe you got to be ready for it. Maybe it was just time for me to do it. And a lot of early 21-year-old guys might throw it in the wind, and very understandably so. And I would have also, if I somehow was able to talk to my 23-year-old self, would have, but excuse me, but it was time for me, and especially after the crisis, I felt it was time. I wanted to try it. I find it super interesting. I just want to know where it goes. How good I can become. And like I said, I felt I had a lot to recover, and still a long road to go to reach my full potential. To recover or reach my full potential, or to still recover from all those years. However you want to call it, but I still feel I have a lot that I haven't plateaued yet, that I have a lot of headroom, that I can still always become better. So I'm not done yet, even after 3 years. I even told myself, and this is very personal, but I told myself, first of all, I told myself to never go back to that lifestyle of chasing sex, right? Chasing, pleasure-seeking, pleasure-chasing lifestyle. Just whatever pleasure, hedonistic lifestyle, to never go back to that lifestyle. I can enjoy life, but in a different way, by taking a vacation or a different way, but never that degenerate. I was a degenerate. I realize that now. Back then, I didn't realize it, that I was a degenerate. And I will never go back to that. First of all, I told myself that. I even told myself, and that's personal, to never have casual sex anymore, to never masturbate anymore. I will just never masturbate anymore. Consciously masturbate with the goal of coming, like to never watch porn anymore. And I even told myself to only have sex in order to procreate. Of course, there's something like bonding in marriage, and that can also be fine, but then it's more like, okay, if you're bonding in marriage, and then if procreation comes, then so be it, sort of thing. And just in that perspective, like if we put that all in the same circle, then that. And otherwise, I just don't have sex, seeing it as an unnecessary waste. Because of course there's all these theories, and it's not scientifically proven or anything, but the theories that you keep the energy inside and it flows upwards, you become smarter, this and that, and your body reabsorbs it. Not gonna go into that all mumbo jumbo, because ChatGPT says, oh, that's not scientifically proven, but it just works for me. I believe it. Whatever science or whatever religion says about it, it just works for me, okay? So I don't even care. And of course I shouldn't, and ChatGPT also tells me not to care, but the thing is, it really, really works for me. Even if whether it's a placebo, biologically, psychologically, or just habit-wise, I don't know. Like whatever it is, it completely works for me. My life is improving, my life is only getting better. And that's how I view it. It's very black and white for me. If I am on semen retention and living that lifestyle, my life will improve. I will get better. If I live the pleasure-seeking lifestyle, I will degrade and my life will degrade. That's just how I see it. It just has become very clear and black and white for me. Because I did hit rock bottom because of the lifestyle, because I was completely out of it around COVID. So yeah, that's very, very clear for me, very black and white. And this video is now becoming too long. I just want to be an advocate for this, and this really works. I've been a sex addict for 10 years, now on semen retention for over 3 years, and this works. This works for me, and I believe it will work for everyone. I believe every guy should absolutely try this at one point in his life. Whether it's the time or not, like I said, it may not be the time. If you're too young, it may not be the time. But again, like, it may completely, if you're 19 years old and you're super plastic, your brain is super plastic, and you have the ability to also create success much faster when you're younger, obviously. When you're coming from the bottom, you get success much faster when you're starting from the bottom when you're young. So hey, you may become a freaking millionaire in 3 years if you're 19 and you're watching this. And so yeah, every guy has to try it. Would really have to try this once in their life. You will see what it does within a week or a month. You see how you feel, how you walk through life. You just notice yourself, how you are, how much more confident and grounded and powerful, how powerful you'll become. And you start walking differently. Everything will improve. And you just keep at it for years, for 2 and 3 years, while working on something that you want, a project, training for for a match, your sports, your work, your business, and you will only get better and better. You will reach your, you will only improve. You will only rise. It's just like a law. It's just a law. And with modern Western hookup culture, it has, it's now becoming popularized, the whole semen retention thing. But when it was 10, 15, 20 years ago, when I grew up thinking that you should start masturbate somewhere in your teens as a boy when you're 14 or whatever it is. I did, and then it just became something normal, and it's just like it had something normal. So I think everybody should absolutely try it once in their life, and you will see. And for me, very black and white. I just wanna I want to see where it leads. I will do this. I'm telling myself to do this the rest of my life, to only have sex to procreate, and not affairs, no one night stands, no dates, no hookers, no porn, nothing like that. And obviously have your moments. I mean, I can maybe I will make more videos about it, about how you deal with it, how you do it, how you deal with it. For now, because obviously you have your moments of you just have your moments. It's But that's this in this video I just wanted to share my story about why I stopped these travel vlogs, what happened to me, and that I'm basically back in a completely different, not a completely different person now actually than back then, than me making those travel vlogs. And of course you saw me with a girl there, but yeah, I was just like, I don't want to get into it, but I was a sex addict right there. You know what I mean. So never mind that, but I'm a completely different person right now, and I wanted to share my story and be an advocate for semen retention. Every guy has to try it. And yeah, this channel, like, of course I started to post some music, and I will still make travel videos. This will probably just be an overall channel of me outputting different kind of stuff. Music, I like making music with Suno, but I do write the songs myself. I don't just press a button. I do compose songs. I write songs with the guitar, piano, and also with Logic Pro. And with the DAW. Like, I do create music myself, but I do use Suno now in order to make it sound good, because I'm not a great singer, right? Or like, sometimes I can be a sing, but sometimes also not. Like I don't even know. Maybe I have to still find my voice, but the thing is with Suno, like I was now able to make these songs that I sometimes wrote into a well-sounding production, because singing, a good singer or not, like I didn't have the producer or the production skills to make it into, or a singing booth and microphone and musicians and instruments to make it into a production ready song or Spotify ready production. So Suno now really helps me at actually getting some songs out. So yeah, I'm putting some music out, and yeah, and of course still travel videos as well. I still travel will still be part of this channel, and maybe different, maybe some other stuff too, some other expressions. So, but was the video of me talking about what happened to me, and yeah, that I hadn't have sex for 3 years after being a sex addict for 10 years. I think that's gonna be the title or something like that, and that that this is my path, that I'm very that I want to see, that I just that I really recommend it as well. I'm gonna continue with this, and never going back to that lifestyle again, and it's very, very interesting. I would really recommend any guy to try it out. And yeah, I'm very excited about my life is going well right now compared to 3, 4, 5 years ago. 4 years ago, 5 years ago. Phew. Right, that was during COVID, around that time, like 6 years ago. Yeah. Whew. Much better, and I'm so much better because of it. And also not smoking my brains out of weed, but it was a sexy day. It's seriously semen retention. It was the main thing holding me back, destroying me, whatever. Yeah, that was the most toxic thing in my life, really. And it was all me. It was all me. So yeah, I hope you're happy that I'm off that path, or that I'm off that rotten path, and that I'm on a better path right now, that I found semen retention, and I really recommend any guy to try it, and then yeah, because it will just make you better and better. Your life will only improve. So that's it. Thank you for watching.